In this video, I'm going to show you a few different stitching techniques. So here I have some materials. I have burlap, foam, a needle, string, and scissors. And the first stitch I'm going to show you is called a running stitch, which you can see here. So I made a little pocket out of this burlap with a running stitch. You can use it to connect two pieces of fabric or foam. So the first step is to string your needle. I like to double up on my string, so you can put one end through the needle and then tie the ends together. Now that my needle is strung, I can take my burlap. I have it folded in half here, and let's get started stitching. So first step is to put my needle into the burlap in an area that I want to stitch, pull through, and that knot is going to catch on the side of the burlap so it doesn't pull all the way through. So then we're going to flip over the burlap and place your needle back in along a line about 1 centimeter away from the first hole that you created and pull all the way through. Now we're going to want to flip over the burlap again and insert the needle about 1 centimeter away from the last hole that we made. Pull it through. And then we're going to continue to repeat this process all along the side of the fabric to create our running stitch. Here's what it should look like. Now once you reach the end, you'll just want to tie your string and then snip it off to secure it. And we can repeat the same exact process on the other side to create our pocket. One thing about burlap is that it can shed, as you can see here. Little pieces can fall off and it can sort of fall apart. So make sure you're not stitching too close to the edge because your stitching could fall out. Here's another stitch called overstitch that I'm going to show you using foam. So I'm going to take my foam piece and fold it in half. I'm making a pocket just like I did with the burlap. I've strung my needle. And I'm going to get started by poking the needle through both pieces of foam. I have a knot at the end of my string so that when I pull it through, it will catch on the knot. Now I'm not going to flip over my foam. I'm just going to take the needle from the back and bring it back to the front and poke it through again. Again, we're not going to flip over the foam. Just take your needle from the back, bring it up to the front about 1 centimeter away from the last stitch that we made, and poke it through. So bring it up to the front, poke a hole through, and pull the needle through. And you can continue this process all the way to the end of the foam. Once you're at the end, you can make a knot and tie off your string to keep it secured. And there you have it. Repeat the process on the other side to make a pocket. In this part, I'm going to show you how to do a backstitch. And backstitch is really great for creating designs, to embroider on your fabric. So my first step is to draw out my design with a pencil. As you can see here, I'm lightly drawing out my design with a pencil. This is going to help guide me when I am stitching. And you can also use a marker. I felt like this pencil was a little light, so I wanted to go over it with a marker as well. Remember, it could show through on your fabric, so make sure your marks are light. I have my needle that is threaded with a knot at the end, and I'm going to get started. So we start from the back, start at a place on your line, pull through. Your knot will catch on the back. And then we're going to do a normal stitch like the running stitch we did before. So following the line that you just made, go ahead and stitch through. Now we are going to go a little bit forward on the line from the back and pull your needle up. As you can see, there's a little gap there in between the last stitch we made and this stitch. And then we are going to go back to the last hole that we made. This is why it's called a back stitch. So we can go through that same exact hole and pull through. This creates a nice solid line, which is great for designs. So again, we go up through the back, a little bit forward on the line, pull through, and then go back to the previous hole that we just made. I recommend trying this out for the first time on burlap because it's pretty see-through, so you can see where the needle is coming up through the back. Okay, so we're going up through the back, a little bit forward on the line, pull through, and then go back to the last hole that we made to create that solid line of embroidery. And this is what it looks like from the back. So you can continue this process all along the line that you made. If you run out of string, that's okay. Just tie off your string in the back and start again. So here's my last few stitches. Remember, I'm going up through the back, a little bit forward on the line, and then back through the previous hole that I just made. And once you're done, you can tie it off on the back and clip the ends. And you're ready to make this piece of fabric into a pocket, a stuffy, or anything else you want to make.